What's up, everybody? Welcome to another week of the Mondeh Report. It's T. You can find me at the Monday blog. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling?
What up? What up? What up? What up? What up?
It's good, Fizza. Cloud, what's good?
Opening though. Thanks for having me.
Sir, appreciate you being here. What's good? What's good, Ken? Good. All right. Well, I'm sure he's here. So we'll just go ahead and preview everything we got. So let's see. All right, so here's what we got for this week. So, front page NBA trade deadline. So, we have a few topics to talk about, a few topics to get into. Then we're going to talk J.Cole's new mixtape. Uh, just dropped it right before the new album, so we'll get into that. Then we got a finance topic, Black History Month topic, local topic, and then we'll finish with some editorials here. So, going ahead and getting started with the trade deadline news. So the trade deadline's coming up February 5th, if I'm not mistaken. So that's going to be this week. So we're going to be hearing a lot of proposed trades, a lot of trade rumors, involving multiple teams. So, what trades do y'all think need to happen approaching this trade deadline? So I'll just start with just the Giannis news. Giannis has been probably like the number one trade target for a lot of teams this cycle, just from the things that he's been talking about in the press. Um, whether or not he wants to stay in Milwaukee, whether or not he wants to perhaps, go somewhere in the Eastern Conference. I think he's been linked to a lot of more Eastern Conference teams. So, Giannis, I feel like, is one person to watch for sure. John Morant has been in a lot of trade discussions as well. So those two are two notable people, that it seems like either, they may not want to stay where they are too much longer, or maybe the teams don't want to see them around. So we'll see on that front. So what trades do y'all think need to happen?
I think Giannis need to be up out of there. Um, where he should go is kind of tricky because I mean, what do you really? He want to go to Miami. He want to go to the Knicks, but I don't see what Miami has to give for him. Like without, like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know what they could keep after trading him for him. Um, the Knicks. I mean, they gonna probably take Cat and I don't know. I think OG. I think he gonna be there regardless. I think he the only one. Him and Jalen Brunson gonna be the pieces that stay in the Giannis trade. I think everybody else is probably up for grabs. I don't know what they pick situation look like, but
You feel like Milwaukee would really want to deal with New York though? Just given the players you just named, because Towns, I feel like Towns would be a player that you'd want to get, but you know, I don't know. I just feel like there could be I don't know.
it'll probably be a three-team trade. Because to be honest, if Milwaukee rebuilding, then what they gonna do with Cat? You gonna have him just waste the rest of his career? You know what I'm saying? Or you gonna see what you can get for him, like some draft picks, some type of assets for him. That's what I think would happen if they did trade for him.
Yeah, I don't
Not gonna
know.
lie, I don't think he should go to the West. I think it'll be harder for him to make it to the finals in the West. Not saying it won't be able to happen. Giannis is like so good that you can put them almost anywhere and they're in the conversation for being, for being a contender if they're not already a conversation to be a contender. So not gonna lie, I don't know how it would look, but I think I want to see Anthony Edwards and Giannis.
Yeah.
So maybe we can do a. If you get Giannis, you probably getting rid of Gobert. So if they can get off Gobert and Randall for Giannis and and Rob Dillingham, maybe that's a
Yeah.
younger piece and maybe some draft capital. I think that'll be cool. I don't know if Milwaukee want Julius Randle and those other guys, but I mean, I'm not really interested in it like how it looked for Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it from the Minnesota standpoint. So you would still be able to keep Nas Reed and Jaden McDaniels. So now you got a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. So you really just need a point guard, man. I don't know. Where I want them to see, where I want them to go the most is Golden State. You know what I'm saying? Get Jimmy Butler, Kaminga, and whatever else they need to make it work. Get him in Golden State. That's what I want to see. I want to see if Steph Curry is really good enough or great enough to make something happen at his old age. Like I know we still see him like hooping and putting up good games at his current age, but I want to see how much he really got left in the tank. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like postseason run type stuff. So, um,
So that's the trade that you feel like needs to happen the most.
that's the one I want to see. But I think the Minnesota one kind of makes the most sense though, as far as what you can get back. Now, if you want solely, if you taking more priority to draft capital than getting back players or contracts off or whatever, then yeah. But I saw somewhere that said a Jimmy Butler, Kaminga, and Pods
Yeah.
for Giannis and Kyle Kuzma, or Giannis, Kyle Kuzma, and Bobby Portis.
Yeah.
I think they said Draymond was in it too, actually. I think it was Kaminga, Butler, Draymond, and Pods for those three, or for at the very least Giannis and Kuzma. And it was a 2028 first round draft pick, I think.
Damn.
So the thing is, it's not really where he would be the best, where would be the best fit. It's like, where is he going to re-sign to? Because it could end up being another Kawhi Leonard situation. And, I don't think nobody really trying to go through that. But to be honest,
Yeah.
we could be surprised, man. We seen after OKC played the Spurs 3 times in like 10 days or something like that, and they won 1 out of 3 or 1 out of 4 of those games. And then they was like, that just kind of started their avalanche or snowball effect of them losing more because they was started the season 21-2, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
Um, I think. Oh, and then the post game comments. You know what I'm saying? With them saying, I don't think a team beats you 3 times in a week or two if they're not better than you. Um, just I don't know,
Yeah.
them being able to win without their number 2 Jalen Williams or number 3. I wouldn't be surprised if OKC jump in there. You know what I'm saying? Because they got the
Yeah.
most to give.
But it's just with Minnesota and OKC, it's like, do you blow that up though? Because it's like both of them seem like good basketball situations, and then oh no, that's going to be interesting to watch though.
They can be good basketball situations, but it's hard to go back to back as is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially in a loaded conference or in an era or like a season or two where it's up in the air. Like in the East, it's up in the air because so many people are injured or not playing or maybe want to be traded. But on the East, it's up in the air because we don't know who can take it at the end of the day. You got Jokic, 3, 4, 5 time MVP. OKC, super deep, reigning MVP. Probably going to be back to back MVP. Houston, young, talent, all time great in Kevin Durant. Young and up and coming baby Joker and Alfred Sengun. Uh, Spurs, Wimbiana, Dylan Harper, Swiper, Stephon Castle. Those young guys, that organization, that system, that's 4 teams right there. I ain't even mentioned Minnesota yet. I ain't even brought up LeBron and Luka. So I mean, I think what you got to lose, bro? You gonna take a chance on how I look, and you know what I'm saying, based on history, knowing that it's hard to go back to back as is, not making no changes. I don't know, man. I think he should stay in the East for sure. Like his best chance at everything. But I do want to see him play with Steph Curry because I want to see Steph Curry play at the highest level, meaningful basketball.
Mm-hmm. Shoot, what you think about it, Clive?
Sorry if it takes so long.
You go.
Shit, man. Damn, bro.
What trades need to happen?
Well, look, I'm gonna just keep it brief, bro. I thought maybe Phil was gonna jump in, but look, man. I just say I agree with Kane. He added in a little bit more than what a lot of the people who get paid to give their opinions on TV stated. Like the obvious blockbuster is the need to happen. I'd say something they've mentioned that needs to get a little bit more light would be probably the Zion and Ja situations. Just because, with them being in bigger markets, it could add some more excitement to the game. And people really, I haven't really been excited just in all sports, really, this year as I've been in the past, man. It's even more obvious that they're throwing games and just a lot of stuff, man. And I think to kind of take away some of that negative stigma that's starting to snowball, I think, you need to move your stars to some big markets, man. Do you feel me?
Yeah.
It's just how I feel, man. And especially those youngsters, bro, with already big names. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's just what I say.
Feel it, man. I agree. Shit. What's up, Phil? What you feel?
I'm looking at a trade right now where Anthony Davis and another center from New York and a 2026 first rounder that is owned or that can be swapped with Washington, and another 2026 first rounder with the Knicks. Now the Bucks receive all of these picks that I'm about to talk about. They get two first rounders this year and another two second rounders this year, a second rounder in the 2027 draft, a first rounder via Los Angeles in 2029. I think that'd be a good pick. 2030 round one, 2032 round one, and 2032 round one. So they'll get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 picks with Anthony Davis, Giannis, and a first rounder with Houston owning the rights. 2029 goes to the Knicks, and then the Mavericks get Karl Anthony Towns.
Hmm.
And it was like all of that can actually be a success. And that's probably like the best thing I've seen from any like pundit or any, you know, like person that's very popular on the internet, like Sean's, all of them. This is probably the best thing I've seen. Because I've seen that the Knicks want to move on for Karl Anthony Towns. I don't see Giannis landing in the Warriors because they don't have enough to give. I think Giannis is too huge to go to a team like the Thunder. His gravity would be they would be trying to figure out how to play around him rather than actually playing their team brand of basketball anymore.
Yeah.
So that'll just disrupt too much chemistry. I seen the Spurs. I don't know if I would want him alongside Wembanyama, me personally. Um, but maybe it'll definitely be like a cheat code. But I feel like they'll still figure out a way to lose. So I wouldn't necessarily do that. I also seen the Heat being a place that he would like to extend. I mean, Miami is a popular city and nothing really going on over there sports wise. So if I was them, I'd probably just push all my chips to the center and try to land that and try to extend that and then kind of move some other pieces so that once the off season come around, we got Giannis and we can add him to some pieces. Like we can figure some things out. But
Phil, who was that team right there you were just last mentioning?
the
Was that
Heat,
Miami?
yeah, Miami.
Yeah. Yeah, I just heard Dan Lebatard going crazy, man. Like he had some insider knowledge talking about Giannis's mom was down there on South Beach looking at properties and everything. It's really crazy you say that, man, because it's a lot of people that think that that that's the fit, and Miami's in the business of winning championships anyway. All those other teams, and Giannis knows that, and that's what he wants. You feel me? So yeah, yeah,
Are
that's
they in the business of winning championships or playing for them?
both, nigga.
Both.
I don't know. Just
What you
because
mean?
you came up on a couple, don't mean you in bit. Everybody in the business to do that supposed to be. That's supposed to be the goal. Just because you won
They're,
a couple, don't mean that now.
nah, they're sure enough in the business of competing, bro. They're sure enough in the business of
They didn't.
competing.
They only won 3 in the past 20 years.
Yeah,
They
they're
didn't been
one of
like
the
8 times though, right?
But think
yeah,
about who was in their way, though.
true.
They've always had competitive squads.
There's like 3 or 4 franchises that are title or bust every year, and Miami's probably one of them.
Can't cap now. You said 3 in them 20 years when they didn't have Bron and when they didn't have Jimmy. Just think about it. Bron was in their way in the East. Bron went to how many straight Eastern Conference Finals?
Yeah,
But it wasn't like it was cake, though. You feel me? But that's just a whole nother conversation. My bad, fam. But I do think that Miami, bro, be a nice spot. I agree with Phil. Like Miami, feel me? That'd be a nice spot. It'd be competitive, big market. You know what I'm saying? But this is the only thing I don't like about that, though, bro. They're not gonna take the family, bro. Feel me? Riley ain't gonna go for that shit. Feel me? We ain't gonna pick up the Nasus and all the other brothers, Alex and you feel me, Zeus, all them other niggas. You feel me, Poseidon. We ain't going for
that's
that shit, bro.
yeah,
Feel me, Rising 3. We ain't going for all that shit. But yeah, though, man. The, those are the most. Those are the. Those are the trades that need to happen though right now. Also though, man, the teams, the rosters are too saturated right now. You feel me? A lot of teams need some white talent. I mean, you can look in the crowds, bro, and see Maga really getting patient, bro. You feel me? That's all I'm saying. I peep the shit out, bro. There needs to be balance though. You feel me? That's another conversation.
Hey, I'm gonna throw in another trade. It ain't really too specific, but I think the Lakers need to make a trade.
So you feel like this is a need to trade, not a trade you'd like to see happen?
Yeah, I think they need to make a trade.
They need
Who
to.
do they need to trade?
DeAndre Ayton.
He been hooping though, kinda.
He said, kinda. Listen, get. I think he should go. I seen a trade, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I think the Cavaliers need to trade Darius Garland.
Shit, my bad. Look,
I seen a trade where the
trade.
Lakers would get DeAndre Hunter though.
I don't even know if they really do they. They
Nah,
need DeAndre Hunter?
we didn't even talk about that AD. Nobody even you know what I'm saying, that trade that Phil mentioned about AD and you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
what
that'd be a
y'all
good
think
trade.
about that? Do you
Yeah.
think AD is done? I know you mentioned DeAndre Ayton came, and I'm a whole lot. Do you think Anthony Davis is done? Is he worthy of even being traded? Is he at the end of his career? You
I
feel
think he
me?
at the end of his career, bro.
I think he's closer to the end than the middle. But what I was finna say. Do I think it's over him? No, I don't think it's over. If Embiid can step on the court in 2020-26 and put up a 30-point game or a MVP year style or type of game, then I think AD can too.
I don't think they got the same work ethic.
They might not, but you know, I didn't know that was the question. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I just thought like, when you were asking, since he has a history of injuries and he's injured and this age or whatever, could he still play? Because you say, is it over? I don't think it's over just yet. Because people still, they talking about the Hawks are supposed to be trading for him and all this and that, so they can try to see if they can make a run. That's supposed to be one of their main reasons for trading Trae Young. So I don't
You
think
just
it's
hit
over.
me with you didn't know that was the question, bro.
Yeah, you said, is it over for him? You didn't say.
Yeah, but there's certain things we take into account, man. How many times do we have a question or a topic, bro? And then, you feel me? SR Rain goes on his little 15-minute rant, bro. You feel me? I'm all about the devil's advocacy, though. You know what I'm saying?
I'm kind of confused. What's happening right now?
Although I was just, feel me, sidebarring.
What was we talking about?
ADK Cat trade.
Cat.
Talking about
Is he closer to the end of his career or
Yeah.
like?
Oh no. To answer your question, I don't think it's over for him. I don't think it's over for him. If Embiid can, yeah, bruh, this ain't. I'm kind of skeptical about doing this. This ain't part of the topic list at all, right? But did y'all see, like, earlier today, it was like breaking news that Paul George took a drug test he got banned 25 games for failing the
Yeah,
drug test?
yeah.
Like that, what made me spark this was him and Embiid just went off for 30 plus in the same game, like a couple days ago. And they saw that and they said, nah. Nah. Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Let me get some of this blood about you. We finna test you. Go on, piss in the cup for me. So I don't know, man. What y'all think about Paul George off the juice?
It's the reason he's still in the league, bro.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, I wouldn't say they'll do that same type of treatment for every player in the league, but it's a reason he's still in the league. It ain't nobody from his class that's playing basketball right now.
Let
I
me
don't,
fact check that.
Is that the
Nah, that's pretty
2010
accurate.
draft class or
2010,
Damn,
the
I
2010?
2010
gotta
NBA
fact
draft
check
class.
that one.
Yeah, because John Wall's not playing. Bledsoe, Cousins, none of them are playing.
All right, Wall, Evan Turner. Stop me when you find somebody that's playing.
All
Wall,
right.
Evan Turner, Derek Favors, Wesley Johnson, DeMarcus Cousins, Ike Udo, Greg
Yeah,
Monroe, Alfred Aminu,
yeah,
Gordon Hayward, Paul George, Cole Aldrich,
yeah.
Davian Henry, Ed Davis, Patrick Patterson, Larry Sanders, Luke Babbitt, Kevin Seraphin, Eric Bledsoe, Avery Bradley, James Anderson, Craig Brackens, Elliot Williams, Trevor Booker, Damian James, Dominique Jones, Quincy Poindexter, Jordan Crawford, Grievous Vasquez, Daniel Orton,
Revis,
Lazar Hayward.
Lazar
Right.
Hayward.
The only
Ain't
cat
no,
that might be playing right now is Eric Bledsoe.
Yeah,
nah, he ain't,
like in
and he
Taiwan.
might be overseas. Nah, he's the only active player. Yeah, he's the only active player. That was a good one. You freestyle that shit?
Yeah, bro.
That's some good shit, bro. Some good
Yo,
shit. We can't be
That nigga
coming
not
up with
playing
some shit,
basketball,
bro.
bro.
I gotta fuck with y'all
That
niggas,
nigga,
bro.
that nigga ain't played basketball since 2021.
Paul George?
Eric Bledsoe.
Oh,
damn,
That
that's
nigga
wild.
career got extended for some odd reason, bro. That nigga doing podcasts. He not training, bro.
mm.
Hey, but my bad for cutting right there. I don't know if you remember, Kane, you said when you were saying DeAndre Ayton, somebody you needed to be traded, that somebody you'd like to see be traded. You also said another name at the end of that. You remember?
Traded for or trading?
I don't know if you were saying that person needed to be traded with DeAndre Ayton.
Nah, I was saying, I saw a report that said that the Lakers might get DeAndre Hunter
Oh
in
shit.
return for like Dalton Connect and somebody for the Cavs.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to Dalton Connect, man. He was supposed to be nice, man. They just put him on.
Man,
Nah, they was about to trade him for Mark Williams, and he was just like, "Oh,
Yeah, because he's
man,
instant
shit.
offense.
If I was Charlotte, I would try to see what I can get for Colin Sexton.
Yeah, he's the odd man out that rotation.
who he playing for
Yeah,
right
he's
now?"
still young.
He playing for the Hornets. Cause they finna get a lot of cap space. I'll be trying to clear cap space for them if I was the GM. They got Mason Plumlee on a 1 year deal, Pat Connaughton, and Colin Sexton. All those are expiring contracts. So once they come off the books, they like he'll get 28 million, 17 million, and 2 million for each one of those deals. So man, you probably won't be able to get much for Colin Sexton though. Because
You know what
who's
I'm
gonna
saying?
pay?
Like a second round pick.
Yeah,
Probably. You send him out to like a playoff team. Who would he
yeah.
fit well with though?
Somebody who has a playmaking big man or wing.
Because
Colin Sexton that need to go to a big team.
I would just want him to defend and score my basketball.
Yeah.
Like
They have to
like
go to a big team,
like
man.
a more efficient
Like
Russell
Denver.
Wilson.
Colin Sexton could go to Houston, couldn't he?
Nah,
That'd be a
too
team
much
Maybe.
going on.
that,
Too much going on.
Maybe.
but that'd be a team for him, man. Because size wise, like he's already given up a lot, man. He's only what, like 6'2"?
Yeah.
That's kind of the reason why I like where he's at in the depth rotation, depth chart at Charlotte. Because honestly, he probably has better defense than Melo, but it's just so much you give up being a shorter guard. It's why a team like Cleveland has so much going against them with Vita.
That boy
Yeah.
done made 91 million so far.
Colin Sexton?
Hell yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
How long you been in the league?
5 years. So he came out 2018, right?
7.
7 years.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah, he been
Yeah.
in there 7.
Yeah, he came out
Avery been
18.
gone.
Yeah, he came out 18.
Avery been gone from Alabama that
He ain't
long.
really been hurt. He ain't really been hurt either. Man, I'm trading, buddy.
That's damn good, son.
Oh shit, trade him to the Mavs then. What about that?
They ain't got no
Yeah,
playmakers outside of like Cooper, I guess.
Yeah, brother. They need somebody that can move that rock. See, that's why I like the idea of them getting no fucking point guard.
what do you consider Colin Sexton a two guard?
Yeah.
Saying no. So what if would y'all like Ja in
Hey, we
Dallas with
gotta
Cooper?
move. If I'm Dallas, I gotta move Anthony Davis up. Any dummy that's willing to take him, I gotta move him.
Send him to
He gonna make 54 million this year, 58 million the next year, 62 million, and then he'll be an unrestricted free agent.
send
Nah,
him to Orlando.
shit, send him somewhere. Cause if they get him off the books, bro. They straight. Everything like they got so much leverage if they get him off the books.
I'm saying, so they got money to spend. How is that like? How does that make them straight?
They don't got money to spend right now.
No, I'm saying if they get him off the books, that means they got money to spend, right?
Yeah, but they're gonna have to like, of course, be able to take on some teams because that's a big ass contract.
Well, I guess what I'm trying to understand is what are you saying they stand to gain by getting rid of him?
More cap space next year.
Okay, like that. Okay, so now next year you got cap space. What are they gonna do with it? That's what I'm saying. Besides pay people they already got.
You gotta
Like that.
find out who the free agents is next year.
Would you, if you was Dallas, would you pay Austin Reeves?
No,
Because I seen the Lakers talking about giving Austin Reeves a max contract. Well, maybe not a max contract, but a contract as a number two. And I don't think he a number two on the championship squad.
this who gonna be in the free agency. LeBron James, Trey Young, Zach LaVine, James Harden, CJ McCollum, Chris Middleton, Kristaps Porzingis, Isaiah Hartenstein, Andrew Wiggins, Tobias Harris, Draymond Green, Fred VanVleet, Anthony Simons, John Collins, Terry Rozier, Jonathan Kuminga, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Nikola Vucevic, Harrison Barnes, Norman Powell, Colin Sexton, Yusuf Nurkic, Zach Collins, Bogdanovich, Rui Hachimura, Dort, Kevin Herter, Mitchell Robinson, Austin Reeves, Kelly Olynyk, Kobe White, Robert Williams, Matisse Thybulle is a good one. Mortis Wagner, Luke Kennard, Gabe Vincent. Bro, this is a value draft. This is a value free agency, bro.
Yeah.
I'm clearing books. Like, let's say I'm a bad team, right? Let's say I'm a bad team and I can get a good pick. So that would be I think I
Sacramento.
seen Washington. Washington in a good spot right now.
Yeah.
Sacramento too.
Yeah. So are these like trades we would like to see too, or just
This is not necessarily what I would like to see. I'm just thinking
yeah,
about if I was a GM and I'm trying to get better, if I'm trying to get better for the future.
yeah,
Like they say the projected draft order is Washington, Sacramento, Indiana, Pelicans, Brooklyn. If I'm Indiana, right, I'm trying to get as much space as I can. Because if I can
Yeah,
land
Indiana.
either one of them three picks, bro, I got a guard mate for Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
Like,
That Indiana is nice considering how
I can
they
slide
lost.
Nimhard to the six
yeah.
man spot.
Exactly.
Yep.
And they
So
got
now,
size coming out of this draft too.
Yep.
or they can get somebody like a Cameron Boozer, somebody they can
Yeah.
like, cause they need some size on the inside.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice spot for Indiana. For real, for real. Or Washington.
Yeah.
Or Washington. Washington or Indiana gonna get value out of this draft. No. But going back to DeAndre Ayton, I'm looking around, bro. Don't nobody want him, bro.
Bro,
Oh my
he
god.
like he done, bro. If
Oh
he
my
don't make shit
god,
work with the
K.
Lakers, he done.
And how could you make that work, bro?
Yeah.
Niggas ain't making that shit work.
Yeah, they got. I'm
Talking about
looking at a mock draft right now. They got Cameron Boozer going to Indiana.
Yeah. Like
Not gonna
they
lie.
must be three.
Yeah, three.
Not gonna lie, Cloudy.
Yeah.
I be getting like secondhand embarrassment, bro. Anytime it's like trade time or free agency, cause some Lakers fans be just so thirsty, bro. They be throwing themselves at anybody, bro.
who's your
Like
team?
the Lakers. That's why I
Okay,
said secondhand
Yeah.
embarrassment.
okay, it makes sense.
I be seeing other Lakers fans, or maybe they might be LeBron's fans posing as Lakers fans.
Well,
I
they
don't
waiting
even
on
know,
him.
but they be speaking on behalf of the Lake Show, and they be like, "Oh my God, if we get Mark Williams with Luca and LeBron, we're winning the championship.
They can't
If
Yeah.
we
wait to
get
get that
DeAndre
50.
Ayton with
Yeah.
Luca and LeBron and Austin Reeves, we're winning the championship."
They
Yeah.
can't wait to get that 50 million out of the books.
Man,
50
And
million.
LeBron has earned $581,375,000. Well, no, $375,548 over his career.
I meant
Seen
Five
Steph
hundred
finna
eighty-one
damn near
million.
sign with a Billy for a Billy with Nike.
Yeah.
Stephen.
Yeah, Stephen finna sign for
So
like damn near
He
a
just
billion.
signed that?
his career
He about
earnings
to.
his
Oh
career
snap.
earnings over the years is $581,000,000, 375,548.
That's just from basketball though, right?
That's from basketball, yeah.
Yeah.
But this 50 million, they need that yeah. Hell no.
That's
This might
just
be
for 1 year.
yeah. That's for this
Yeah,
year.
that's what I'm saying. That's what's due. That's what's owed for 1 year, and that's
Right.
like 2 seasons.
He signed a 2-year, $100 million contract.
So that's 1 year. Okay,
Full no trade clause.
1 year.
It's over with. This is last year. He probably gonna sign somewhere else. I wouldn't
Think
sign him.
that's why they had that whole theatrics when he was just in Cleveland. Think he going back over there?
Trey Young got a player option. He might exercise that. Zach Levine, if he want to get a win, if he want to win, he should do that. James Harden, I would exercise my player option if I was him. Who gonna pay him $42 million?
where can he go?
Who gonna pay him $42 million? That's more important.
I'm confused. Like, so if he
If he
exercises play
decline
off,
his player option, he doesn't get paid $42 million.
you saying he should do that?
Who gonna pay him $42 million?
He's taking the bag, bro.
Yeah.
Who's gonna pay him?
Clippers.
Right.
gotta fill seats.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You gotta feel
I'm having like
And he plays. Kawhi doesn't play, but you know, James Harden does. As long as he's not hurt, bro, he's gonna show up, bro.
if I'm the Warriors, I'm trading Draymond.
How's that funny, bro?
He got a player option. He got a player option at the end of the season. You know he exercises.
So the player option is basically saying, I want to stay and I want to continue to get paid the rest of my contract.
Right.
Yeah, he's exercising that player option. But they don't. That's the reason why Kuminga mad right now, because it's supposed to be his shit.
See, and
They
he
trying
got
to,
he on the team option. So
yeah.
he could test the market, but he's still on the team option.
Not gonna lie, I don't know why Kuminga thinking anything, bro. Like you
Bro,
see,
he 23 years old. He only been in the league for 4 years. Like, you don't even know what he can be. He could turn 30 and be one of the best players in the league.
Yeah, we
Not
don't
saying
know
that
what
he
he's
will
doing in
be.
practice.
Yeah, we're the Sam Darnold.
Yeah, we don't
I
know
mean,
what he's doing in practice either.
I'm not talking about. I'm not saying that. Speaking on his game, I'm saying that if you saw them choose Draymond over Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole, I mean, who do you think you are? Like, I get it. I get who you can be, but who do you think you are?
Well, they didn't trade him yet, right? Got to be
But
something.
but that's incompetence on their part, not his. That ain't got nothing to do with him.
That's just your perception, right?
Listen.
If they not playing them, what does it matter if they ain't traded them?
Listen. They did all that to
You
fuck
get
up.
what I'm saying?
They did that to fuck up his value on the
That's what I
market.
thought.
Like, they're not playing him, so they won't have to pay him, so that they could keep him and Draymond. Like, if he would have signed for a lesser contract, he'll still be like in the mix or on their team. Like, I think Kuminga's idea is that I want to get paid more. I want to get a bigger role so I can show my true talents. They kind of holding him hostage. So now he got to go into the market with like the team pretty much still being like, okay, if they want to match this, then we could just match it. But nobody gonna want to match it. We still gonna lowball you. So he gonna have to end up taking a lesser contract. Because let's say he go to the market and then nobody takes the contract, right? And he come back to the club for another season. Well, once he go back into free agency, bro, he gonna be like a middle tier player, bro. He not gonna get that starter money.
No.
So like they just doing it to fuck up his bread, bro. He probably didn't shake the right hands, or he rubbed somebody the wrong way.
Unless he comes back to the club and has the type of season that like Jalen Brunson had to get him the fuck out of there, bro.
It's an environment thing. Like he just never gonna be one of them like superstar max players, bro. Like that's just what it is. Like that's what to me, like knowing how politics and shit go, like I would just take that and run with it and just make sure I make good money decisions. Cause you'll never be broke. Well, I ain't gonna say you'll never be broke, but like he done already made
Dream
50
chasing.
million.
He dream chasing though. He looking at where he at and
See, he's trying to get that starter money. He trying to get into that next apron, bro. And you just ain't that dude.
I got a question. Do other leagues like not pay good or something?
They just don't guarantee contracts.
Yeah, NFL doesn't guarantee
The
a lot of them.
MLB guarantee contracts.
Well,
But
I'm talking about other basketball
Basketball leagues?
leagues, like Euro, like whatever.
Yeah,
I,
Like, what's
yeah.
the max
Like,
contract overseas? What I'm trying to figure out.
no, I know Stephon Marbury got that check out in China though. I got to check on that.
Yeah, I'd imagine probably not like the
5 million.
NBA. 5 million.
Nah, never mind. I see why niggas ain't going over there now.
Kendrick Nunn getting 5 million right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, it say between 2 and 5 million.
that's
Josh
tough.
Childress was a deal in around 7 million.
Yeah, he
What
was
about
making
Stephon
bank.
Marbury?
I'm about to find out now.
Like, I'm not interested in who getting paid the most. I'm saying like, what is like the max? Like, what like you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out a ballpark.
About they said domestic Chinese players are capped at about 700,000, while foreign players can make up to 1 million to 3 million per season. So top players can earn from 1 to 3 million per season. Total
No.
spending for foreign players is capped at 7 million in the Chinese league.
I don't know what's going on, but it sounds like they ain't taking that basketball stuff serious.
Yeah, they heavy NBA fans over there.
I
Yeah,
mean,
they got
I
Yeah,
get they
they
had
they can
NBA
only
fans.
have a couple of NBA players on each team though.
I'm saying I understand they might have NBA fans. I'm saying I don't think they taking basketball serious just based off their own league. Because they could easily have some people go play over there if they was offering more money. Like I'm sure if they was even if the max was like 20 mil, somebody
I,
who just had
you,
like bad politics in the NBA but could still play, they probably you know what I'm saying?
I
Yeah,
think it's a thing of I get what you saying, but I think it's a thing of them not wanting to Americanize their version of
Okay.
basketball over there.
That's actually that makes sense.
that can make sense. Cultural.
Probably why they only allow but so many American players on each team. Saying over there in China, it's like different in Europe.
Hell yeah. So bring them over there in Europe.
It's a con-
Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's more stuff we could talk about, but I don't know. I think I just I ain't gonna lie. I think I would like to see Ja in Minnesota with Anthony Edwards too. Um,
You think that would work? To
If
I
like,
don't know.
Rod
What's the
Dillingham ain't working, I don't see how that would work.
Is it not working though, or is it just
Why you think Rod Dillingham ain't on the floor?
he ain't been playing?
yeah, he hadn't really been playing.
He played 35 games this season.
Probably not
Last
heavy
game he played was
minutes.
on the 29th. He played 3 minutes.
Yeah,
He got 2 shots up in the steal and turned the ball over 3 times.
Is Ant play the 2 or the 3?
The two,
two.
Okay. Nah, I thought he played the 3.
Rod Dillingham is 21 years old. He was drafted last year, so 2 years in the league. He's playing lesser minutes than he played last season, playing lesser games than he played last season, shooting a lesser percentage from the field, scoring lesser points, fewer assists, better from the free throw line, but shooting percentage is worse.
I was really high on Rob Dillingham
Me
until
too.
I found out the Spurs passed up on him. I was like, they must see some.
I
I
think
don't
that's
see.
when it
No,
started going downhill.
that's crazy though. The Spurs like the Patriots in the league though.
Yeah,
He said they must have seen something.
that's when it went downhill.
He was drafted by the Spurs, but got traded.
For well, then
For
that
2000,
puts it into context.
Yeah, 2024.
for like a what 2027 draft pick, right?
Oh no, I
Right,
can't.
boy.
Yeah,
Right.
something like that. They moved back in the draft to draft somebody.
You know when we was looking at his highlights from college, and you said he's only like laid it up or finished at the rim or in the 3 point. He took no mid range shots.
Yeah.
Did that tell you what you know what I'm saying? Is that showing you? Does that got anything to do with what's going on right now?
Right? Getting the great.
No, I think he probably just don't know how to operate an offense.
So you think it's some turnovers?
Might be on.
Yeah, it's a turnover. It's a turn.
Basketball situations, man.
They need him to be. They need him to be a facilitator, not a scorer.
Mm. You don't think Jar can do that?
Ja can do that, but Ja got to go to ball. Like, and then what would it look like for the league? When you got two young niggas on the team, like for us, that'd be crazy because we're like that'd be America's squad. You feel me? We got Ice in the building, we got Ja in the building, we got Edwards in the building. You feel what I'm saying? In Minnesota, we'll have it
Hey,
cracking.
hold up. Did you say you got ice in the
We got
building?
Ice in the building,
Got Ja.
got Ja in the building, got Ant Edwards in the building.
Yeah, that'll go hard.
You feel me? Nas Reed. You feel me?
Crazy.
Yeah, they got Kevin Durant, but we got Jay McDaniels.
Feel me? They'll have some motion for sure. Like all the YNs be in Minnesota posting. All the Somalis. Shout out to the Somalis though.
Yeah, shout out to the Somalis, man. You feel me?
In Minnesota with them.
But dude,
Shout out to Auntie Beverly, man.
Yeah,
get cold like Minnesota for sure.
shit kind of
Shout
too
out to Auntie
nice.
Pepe in Minnesota, though. It's my
Yeah,
Auntie Pepe.
yeah,
All
Straight
them
up.
guys
Straight up.
using the American government for what it's worth.
Straight up. Bambino.
yeah.
Big boy.
Bambino. Yeah. So we went through all the ideal trades. Or we good?
Yeah, man.
All right. So let's move on to talk some J.Cole. So J.Cole just dropped a 4-track EP. So it's a birthday Blizzard 26. So it was released before his expected album, The Fall Off. So I've been hearing that The Fall Off's gonna drop maybe sometime next week or sometime in the next few weeks, but we'll see. But there's just been a lot of talk around this album in terms of what Cole said. There's speculation that maybe he dissed Drake, or maybe he dissed Joey Badass, or maybe he dissed Kendrick Lamar. So, just wanted to talk about that. And where do y'all have Cole ranked in terms of, rappers in the game today? And then how significant do y'all feel like DJ Clue hosting this mixtape is? So, we'll just talk all that. Um, for me, I'm excited. I'm just excited to get more music. I feel like Cole's kind of just settled in to just being, just a great rapper. Maybe not, in the conversation for top rapper. So, I kind of put him in the same kind of lane as like, Nas was, for years, where it's just like he's a lot of people's favorite rapper, but he he may not be everybody's, top rapper. So, I'm just interested to see where Cole goes from here. So that's my take on it. So what do you think, Ken?
Somebody else go first.
Okay, anybody? Shit.
I'll go. You know what I'm saying? I don't really think who's in the top 5 right now, bro. Think just to answer your question, so the I'm having DJ Clue host the project was good for those old school act hip hop heads. You feel me?
Yeah,
But a lot of the talking he was doing on that track, bro, is like a lot. It's like too late. Or when people really wanted to hear a lot of that talk, you know what I'm saying? Kinda, it was like Kendrick threw him the alley oop for that.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And it's almost like 2, 3 years too late. It's gonna be a take of a lot of people.
yeah,
You know, I think that was the sentiments of like Fat Joe, Jada Kiss. So
yeah,
those are the sentiments of guys like that. Those be the same people who would be in the arena of like DJ Clue era, significance and all that. So I'm just wondering why he even came with that type of tone. Wondering if my perceived audience is who he was actually targeting, and if so, why? Why didn't he just go back to that, um, type of backpack rap he was on when he was doing that Dreamville Collective and all of that type of rap?
yeah,
But you know, regardless though, if I I think it's more of a publicity stunt than anything because he really doesn't want it with guys, man. Honestly, I've already seen that. If it's just light, it's just light. No, but this where hip hop has been. It can be disrespectful and all that. I don't think J. Cole's ready for that. No,
yeah,
I don't think he wants to take it there. I think it's that he's not ready for that. I don't think he's built for that right now, where he is as a family man, where he is like spiritual, spiritually and all that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's on that type of time. Let me kind of backpedal and chin up what I'm saying. And I really just don't think he's on that type of time.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a lot that he's saying, but it's just too late. Yeah, Kane, you good? I was just
Yeah.
filling in. I ain't really had much to say.
Um, I agree with a lot of what Cloudy said. Um, he says kind of like trying to like I forgot what term he used. Nah, he didn't say clout chasing, I don't think, but attention seeking, whatever. I think it's a rollout. You know what I'm saying? I think for one thing, I think the same shit he was clowning, not clowning, but speaking on about Wale. I think he feels the same way. And I mean, admittedly, he kind of said that in False Prophets. But
Oh no, remind me about false prophets.
well, he
Was
was basically saying, I got a homie, he a rapper, he want to win bad. He want the acclaim, the all the respect has been had by all the legends. So every time you see him, he's stressing, talking about niggas don't fuck with him.
Shit is
Yeah.
depressing.
He
And
was
I
talking
know,
about Wale on that.
yeah, he was talking about Wale. But the thing is, I don't think he'd be like sad about it, but I think he feel the same way. And I think he got a taste of people actually giving him that respect and holding him in regard and saying, nah, he ain't just top three, he's number one or he top two. And then him being able to keep going after that and still give him more to kind of back up the claims. And I think he got that from being on this competitive shit. He could go back to the backpack shit, the more introspective shit, the more storytelling, all that. But that's what he been doing the whole time. And only his true core fans that liked him for that in the beginning is the people who might want to hear that or the people who would be asking for that. But the other people who just start liking him when he going on a feature run and he talking greasy and he actually showing lyrical ability because he rapping, and not only is he rapping, but he's rapping with a certain tone, with an aggression, with a hunger, with a competitiveness that whether people admit it or not, we like, we love. That's what carried hip hop in the 90s and the 2000s, probably in the late 80s too. Like, all I'm saying is, I feel like he gotta do this now. Because for one, like he said in one of them freestyles, the apologies set him back out of the, kicked him out of the top three or whatever. It might have been the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
So
The
he's
apology.
got
Yeah,
to do that to get back to where people love him again, give him that respect again. That's
yeah.
how I feel. But I also feel like this is what we, or mostly I, was talking about when I was saying rap needs that competitiveness. Rap needs that sport aspect to it, to where people are competing. He basically did everything I said hip hop needed, or at least three out of four, like majority of the things that I listed. And I don't remember everything I listed, but I know he did it because one thing is he rapped over other people's beats. That's not nothing you can make money for. That's love of the game. That's passion. That's competitive. That's sport. And on them songs, he's rapping like he's the best and saying that he's the best. And having some accountability or some self awareness to say, yeah, all this happened and all this, and he's speaking on it, but he might go into more detail on the album. I'm not sure. I'm not saying all is forgiven. I'm not saying we just forget what happened. All I'm saying is, from a hip hop fan, from a rap fan, from somebody who grew up on hip hop like from like the early 2000s and remember where 80s, 90s hip hop wasn't that old to be listening to, this is refreshing.
Feel
Can't
all
lie.
that. But
I can't lie. Like,
do
he
you
got a
think
DJ to host it. It's a mixtape, so he not getting no money for it. Like, he rapping off other people beats. He putting it out there for us to listen to, giving the fans more content and more music to listen to before the actual album. And he talking shit saying he better than niggas, even if he apologized. I'm not saying it's
you
respectable or not, but I'm just
you can't
saying
fall
that
for that, bro?
hip hop,
Can't
I'm
fall
just
for that,
saying,
bro.
I'm just saying, looking, I'm just saying, what's more hip hop than this besides not apologizing in the beginning?
Do you think these other rappers are gonna take that seriously? I mean, J.Cole's the storyteller, not the battle rapper. That's all I wanted to say. You know what I'm
Oh, I
saying?
mean, I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, just because he's not good at it, don't mean he's not that. Just because what I'm saying, just because he might have just because he finally hit the stage and the lights might have been a little too bright for him, don't mean he was never supposed to be there in the beginning. We didn't seen people lose on the biggest stages. We didn't seen LeBron not meet Kobe in the finals when they both were supposed to meet up.
8 Mile.
In hip hop, you don't get 10
He's
times to go
trolling.
to the finals and shit. You know what I mean?
Shit, Jay-Z. Drake, it's only a select few.
Them niggas was winning in the
Kanye,
finals though. Them niggas
yeah.
wasn't losing in the final. Feel me?
But I'm not really speaking on like the battle or the beef. You get what I'm saying? And I think that's where there's like a little miscommunication. I'm just speaking on what this means for hip hop, or you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm speaking at it in the lens of looking at it as hip hop, not J. Cole post the beef. You get what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying? I'm not
Yeah.
speaking on
You
it.
get me. Hey, bruv,
it
I get you, bruv. It's
you know what I'm
light, bruv.
saying?
Light,
So
bruv, on the side.
beef aside, the fact that he dropped the mixtape and he freestyling on other people's beats. He talking crazy. It's free. I
Somebody gonna
mean,
come out,
like if
smash
like
him on the top of his head on the little light 16, and then he gonna come out with another apology on stage. And then
I'm,
what are you gonna say then though?
I mean, we'll get there when we get there. But I'm just saying, I'm not even like the biggest Kendrick Lamar fan these days. But if he found some beats, some hip hop beats that he really can get busy on, like the same way he got busy on that, like that verse. Not saying he got to be dissing somebody, but if he can rap to a beat that's more that I can with a flow that I can, you know what I'm saying, vibe to. If he put out a mixtape, and every song ain't even gotta be like that. I'm just saying, if he put out a mixtape and he rapping off just straight Cali Legends beats, that wouldn't be fire for hip hop, whether I liked it or not. Like, do you get what I'm saying?
No, I ain't gonna cap you, bro. This is definitely the time with the certain landscape of things, how this have been us culturally and as a country and everything. J. Cole's one of those guys that'll tap into that. I mean, it's
I'm just
definitely a
saying
moment for hip hop, bro. I was
that
just playing was
that
advocate. Go ahead, Phil. Though,
hold
Phil.
on. I
My
just want to
bad.
say one. I just want to say one more thing. That Metro Boomin mixtape or album that he put out in the last, like I think it was like this past summer that didn't really get much coverage or whatever. I felt like that was a great idea. It was like a throwback
Yeah,
Atlanta mixtape. Like you get what I'm saying?
yeah, that was
Like that
nice.
old school Atlanta vibe. It was like them
Yeah,
type of songs on there.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
And
Was
I felt
solid.
like that was a great idea. Like I didn't really get into it, but the songs I heard a couple songs and it definitely I seen what he was trying to do. But my thing was whether I liked the songs or not, I liked the idea because it felt like hip hop.
Yeah.
Like I feel like people need to do stuff like that.
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
valid perspective though.
like what if like nah, that might be reaching. I don't know, man. It's this dude named Tony Snow though. I've been rocking with him lately, man. I don't know. He still rap, but he went on a wave of just rapping on other people's beats. So I've been listening to his freestyles. The baby just released a song where he sampled like flashing lights. He seemed to be a fan of rapping on other people's beats. I've been on
You know what that's
SoundCloud
called,
lately.
right?
Huh?
Do you know what that's called?
The song, the
When you rap
sampling,
over other people beats and shit like that.
jacking for beats.
Oh yeah, okay. You literally fucks with that, bro.
Oh
Culture,
yeah,
bro. You feel me? I'm just saying, bro. Just chill, bro. You feel me? Had to ask, bro, because you went on the rant and shit. I was trying to let Phil talk, and then pop the camera on. Nigga don't got no, you feel me, profile pic now. He just ghosts and shit. Look at this shit. Feel me? What you rising nine over there, bro? Stop playing, bro.
it was
Feel me?
just
Straight
I
face
was just
game.
shouting out the people
I feel it
who
though, man.
who
Turn on your
do
mic, fam. Piece of
I was just shouting out the people who do what I asked what I would like to see. And I shout out to G Herbo too, because I've been on SoundCloud lately, and for some reason he like to rap over Jeezy beats.
yeah, he be jacking for beats, bro. G Herbo got it, bro. He off and on though.
But as far as a J.Cole release, I think I heard like that freestyle that he put out, but I only heard one song. Um, it was cool. I'm looking for like the grown man perspective raps. Like he was rapping like from death to birth, you know what I'm saying, type shit. And it was a different spin. I like that. But I think that's the only lane Cole can like exist in. I don't think I really want to hear anything else from like, you know, cool bars and everything. Like that's cool and all, but like I want to hear some grown, like introspective life type shit, some insightful shit from Cole. Like I don't want to hear about how much of a better rapper you are than the next. No, I don't give a fuck about that.
Backpack raps, bro. None of the battle. Like that's what I'm saying. He's not a battle rapper, bro. You feel me?
Yeah,
Storytelling, all of that. Respect of what he brings to hip hop. I'm all for that. And you agree with the fact that with the way the country's going, that's where he would shine. Like,
I think
you
so.
know, you know
But
how culturally I I think that's a lot of what Kane was saying too, though, man. You know what I'm saying? He can challenge other rappers in different ways in that uh perspective too, on them being better men too. I like how you use the example of the false prophet song too. You feel me? Because is that in a nutshell embodies what Phil was saying. You see what I'm saying? I get what you were saying. I was listening. You see what I'm saying? But I think when a lot of people do hear that though, what he just dropped, that's what they a lot of them might hear though, him just saying that he's a better rapper than niggas instead of what Phil just stated though. My bad for stepping on your lines though.
So we good on this, or
Hold on, let me look at the
because
tab. You ain't got the thing on the screen? Because I be looking at y'all. I don't be looking at my notes. Yeah, we ain't talk about who he dissed or nothing. Like I knew it was something I was forgetting. I don't
who
I
did,
don't
who did he
I don't
did? Like what bars are we speculating?
okay, so boom, he got a song. He was basically saying how you uh how you selling this, but your tour is not selling or something. He's basically saying like you using bots. I haven't seen nothing, or maybe I haven't realized what anything could have been for Joey Badass or Drake. But the Kendrick Lamar stuff, the lines that they thought were about Drake when he was saying you sold your soul to Lucian, but I'm thinking that was for Kendrick, not Drake. But I seen some Kendrick Lamar Twitter page is trying to say that was supposed to be about Drake. But I think that was about Kendrick because all the labels involved, well, outside of Drake, Kendrick label and Drake label is both under UMG. So UMG part of their defense was like they don't care who won. You know what I'm saying? Like they both like y'all both under us type stuff. Um so if you pay attention, when he won one of those Grammys, when Kendrick won one of those Grammys, Taylor Swift stood up, Lucian Grain stood up, Dr. Dre stood up, and somebody was like, "We did it" or something. I think Taylor Swift was like, "We did it" or something. I don't know, but I think Kendrick Lamar is signed to Taylor Swift or something. I don't know the ins and outs of their contracts and all that.
what
I'm just kind of
he
I
signed
don't
he signed to Taylor Swift.
I think PG Lang. I don't know. I don't know the connection. But if you remember, Drake was basically the whole 2 weeks we was waiting on Kendrick to respond. Drake was saying that Taylor Swift, when Taylor Swift is his new CEO, his new top.
Yeah, cause she runs the label. They're on her and Kendrick are on the same label, and basically
Oh, so
Her
that's what he meant.
how
Okay.
whenever she wanted to drop her album determined, Kendrick's timeline.
Well,
You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? That's what he was getting at.
So that was a misunderstanding on my part because I didn't even understand that, but
that would have been
I
crazy.
never care
I
enough
didn't
to
know.
really, you know, I don't listen to Taylor
But
Swift
yeah,
or Kendrick. So, but yeah, they was all hugging each other, clapping and dancing. You know what I'm saying? Smiling because he going up A minor, like that part playing when he walking up the steps. You know what I'm saying? Everybody analyzing his outfit because he wearing a jean jacket and jean shorts or something that's called a Canadian tux. There's a whole bunch going on, But I think that was for Kendrick personally. I think there could possibly be more on the album, but I think it's tricky though. If everybody was saying that GNX was supposed to be Kendrick's mixtape and the album was supposed to come, but it never came. I think they were saying that GNX, it was really an album, but they were saying it was a mixtape just as because they didn't know how it was gonna sell or whatever. So if Kendrick really do got an album in the tuck, then he might diss everybody again as for his rollout for this year. But then again, he might not do that because he's so used to dropping an album and then going ghost for 2, 3, 4 years. So we don't know what's gonna happen. But Iceman ain't dropped yet. So if he is slick dissing Drake, Drake might respond because this dude named Maul that used to be on Joe Budden podcast, he's cool with Drake, kind of the same way academics is cool with Drake or has ties to Drake. So, sometimes Maul and sometimes academics be putting stuff in the air or confirming or denying things because they have direct sources, you know. And Maul was saying that since J.Cole apologized, Drake hasn't heard from him. So I don't know. I'm kind of excited, man. I'm kind of excited to see how it all unfolds. I did hear a DJ Who Kid tag in the on the song, if I'm not mistaken, which is weird because it's a DJ Clue mixtape.
Yeah. Well, he
Um,
hosted it.
oh well, I mean, same thing. Well, I mean, is the dedication of Gangsta Grills mixtape?
Yeah.
That you get what I'm
DJ
saying? So
Drama.
I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So, but all I'm saying is though, some of this stuff might mean something. It might mean nothing at all. And you say
You got yeah.
OG Cloud, when you say I don't think Cole wants to do this and that, I think he does, but to a certain extent. Like, there's a theory that was like, Cole backed out because he didn't want to start doing the gossip and the lies and the shock factor. He just wanted to keep it raps. And it might be that. Like maybe
that's
Cole
real
just
too.
ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying, play dirty. Maybe Cole just want to straight up fade. Like run me a fair one.
Maybe Cole wants to keep it out of the spotlight, and he just like culturally aware, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't need all this public display in front of these. You know what I'm saying, people, bruh, us. You feel me? Going disrespecting each other and all that. Maybe he was on that type of time too, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, go hard on him. I don't put him in my top 5, bro, but he's solid though. You know what I mean? Solid.
Also, you gotta another thing people gotta understand is it's one thing to be able to go at another man, but it's another thing to be able to go at a man that you once had love for in your heart for. You get what I'm saying? Like it ain't the same. Like, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if me and Phil get into it, I'm not going to go like I'm not going to handle it the same way I would handle somebody else that is just a random person or I'm just cool with or I knew growing up or whatever. It's just not the same. Like my little brother, I wouldn't do him the same way. Like it's just different. So
Yeah, but J. Cole didn't really Drake didn't do J. Cole any type of way, did he?
I don't think so.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what I took from that or nothing like that. I'm not saying like Kendrick didn't do J. Cole any type of way. Saying it's just he did himself that type of way. Feel me? When he apologized, you know,
Yeah.
that's just that. Man. Like, but you got the next graphic though.
Yeah, shoot, well, any more thoughts on, just the whole J. Cole topic? Are we done?
Not for me, man. No, I'm just interested in the new album, dog. Maybe it'll be, you know, something that we'll enjoy. But it wouldn't surprise me if it's not.
It was surprising if it's not enjoyable.
Yes.
What would make it not enjoyable? Topic or like beat selection? I mean, subject matter. I mean, beat
Yeah,
selection.
subject matter for sure. Then beat selection, features, um, yeah.
One reason I can see that is because he seemed like he'll be the type that'll put his like artists or his unknowns on there.
He's talking like this is gonna be the last album that he's gonna ever make, so it better be good.
Have you ever heard a bad J. Cole project though? Any of y'all?
I heard some J. Cole projects I played once, never played again.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
well,
I've heard
Gucci.
some very disappointing projects, very underwhelming.
yeah,
The last J. Cole project that I really, really liked was For Your Eyes On.
yeah, that was a good album.
I'm gonna go back and listen to that, but the only one, his most
Got you.
complete album to me was January 28th.
For sure. Yeah, that's the best one.
No, no, no. I mean Forest Hill Drives. I mean, I'm
That's
tripping.
the
Yeah,
best one.
That's what
That's the
I had
best
said
one.
for
Well, I knew
still.
what you was talking about, but that's the
yeah,
best one.
yeah, yep,
He hasn't made an album better than that one since that one came out.
Nah, that was one of the early joints too, right?
yep,
Right.
Early.
Like
And
if we
Born
being honest,
and,
and
and,
if
and, since, and since he's put out other albums, bro, Born Center is
yeah,
way better than Kids on Drugs.
Yeah.
Way better than that shit he put out like recently where he was shooting the flaming basketball.
Yeah.
yeah.
I said the
That was
same
nice too,
thing,
though.
Phil,
But I
But
forget
because
that
I
the
hate
that
it. That's what
that
made
was
me like
straight.
stop listening to J. Cole, bro. I gave him a second chance. I was like, all right, bro. You saying Jay Z made you put out this or push your album back or whatever, like whatever, whatever. Came back with the second album. It was slightly better, but I just wasn't feeling it at the time.
That's his
But
sound.
now,
That's like that. I believe that's his sound. Like that's how he was able to come to Forest Hill Drive by
yeah.
trying that sound on Born Center.
but it's so crazy because his mixtapes are his best quality of work though. How is that possible?
I think that's your opinion.
So you think
The mixtape Weezy, bro.
what was that? What was his first mixtape?
Like the come up, the warm
Yeah,
up, Friday Night
yeah.
Lights.
That's better than Forest Hills Drive.
No,
No,
he know
Friday
that's
that.
Night
solid
Friday
though.
Night Lights not better than Forest Hill Drive.
It was
No,
solid, bro. It was solid, but it wasn't better than Forest
no,
Hill though.
no.
Come on, man.
I love Too Deep for the intro, but after Too Deep for the intro, what you got?
Two
In the
Face,
morning,
Enchanted in the morning. The song
Yeah.
Missy Elliott, my best friend says
Nah, dog. That shit was a
so
mixtape.
you saying that's better than
Farewell.
you saying that's better than January 28th, A Tale of Two Cities. Apparently,
Watching it.
it's better than San Tropez.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's better
Fire
than all
Squad.
that. You saying
Yeah,
that's better than all that?
yeah.
Oh no, man. Oh no.
Nah, he was playing devil's advocate. He had to been,
Yeah,
bro.
he had to be. Yeah, right. I got you.
I think it was a little nostalgia in there for real, for real.
Yeah, I mean, I understand, but like, you not finna turn them tapes on and play them all the way through right now.
When I found Friday Night Lights on Apple Music, I played it all the way through. No skill.
Forest Hill is probably close to is the closest press play album he got.
Definitely.
I could agree. I say that.
Okay, that you got it with Wale was hard. Villmatic was cool. Blow Up was all right. Premeditated Murder was cool. I like that song. That one was a good
Yeah,
one.
premeditated murder. Yes.
That was a good one. But this not
Was that
better.
the hands in the air shit?
This not better than Forest Hill Drive.
I have to go back and listen to that, man. It sounds
Yeah, Wade
it
Dreams, Fire
sounds
Squad, Get Off My Dick, No
reasonable.
Role Models. Like these are bangers. '03 Adolescence. Yeah. Friday Night Lights got more content though. I give it that.
Oh, love yours. Oh my God. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
You right. I mean, I listen. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. When I was listening to Friday Night Lights, I do remember saying to myself, Cole has grown a lot since then. I used to think that was the best thing he put out for real, for real. But I do remember saying he has grown a lot. You know what I'm saying? From this project. Apparently.
You believe in me.
All right, so we'll see what he has when he drops.
Either way, Cole, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta be the toughest nigga on the block, man. I still respect you, man. Shout out to you, man. Just give us your best. That's all we can ask for. Respect. Next topic, if y'all done.
Yeah, I'm done.
All right, so we got some finance. So the rising price of gold and silver is something that a lot of analysts are taking note of. So got two graphs here that kind of show how, on the one hand, gold has gone from just under 3,500 per ounce to just under 5,000 in just the last like 4 to 5 months. And then silver has gone from like just under $40 to about $85 yesterday per ounce as well. So you have like both the rising gold, rising silver, while also decreasing 10-year yield for the U.S. dollar. So the interest rates that people are getting for taking out a 10-year bond on the U.S. dollar has been decreasing in the last year. And that's significant because up until before Joe Biden got in office, you saw a similar trend where the 10-year yield was decreasing and it got to a point where it was like near 0% yield for a 10-year bond, and it had gone up to about 4% under Joe Biden, and now it's sliding down to around like 3.5%. So it's starting to slide down. So you have like a uh, decreasing value for the dollar in some sense, while also gold and silver are both increasing. So should we be prepared for a recession? So the last few Republican presidents, it seems like recessions have been like a likely outcome, whether that's Trump, whether that's George W. Bush. So I don't know. I mean, the trends are indicating that we should at least have our eyes, on the lookout for something that could happen. So what do y'all think as far as like the trends going on, with all these money indicators?
Um,
Well, since I have the least knowledge on the subject, I'm gonna just say what I saw. I saw a post that said Donald Trump and his folks was heavily invested in crypto, so they trying to like give away all the money and put us in debt to ruin the value of the dollar, so they can have like a big control of the Bitcoin or crypto market. And at first, I was like, that could make sense. I can see that, right? But I didn't really pay it too much mind. Then I saw something that said Bitcoin is going to crash because if once y'all know who really behind it, then or who really like founded it, or who's behind it, or who's running it, who's in control of it, or whatever, it ain't gonna be worth nothing. And in the same tweet, they said that this is why they tried to keep the Epstein files from coming out for so long. Now that we're seeing more and more stuff coming out, and all this stuff being affected all at once, is it a coincidence? I don't know. What do you guys?
I think this is a just another example of the market being propped up. Because soon as like gold and silver hit all-time highs, like within 24, 48 hours, it came all crashing down, especially for silver,
Yeah,
which is more of like, more budget friendly for, small time precious metal stackers. I think the real value in coin is something that those who hold it understand, but because it's easy to manipulate markets, like you can kind of like create a false sense of like a false sense of insecurity, and you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
you hear reports, oh, gold hit an all-time record high, then the next day, oh, it hit an all-time record low. Like, I mean, like, this is the most it lost in one day. But it's like, will the dollar continue to get weaker? Well, your president is like openly stating in press conferences, yeah, I want a weaker dollar so that we can get more spending. It could be a more like a discount on American businesses. But the problem is that we're not really like exporting anything that's of value in the current market, like the global market, so to speak. We're kind of undercutting our farmers. We don't really sell our oil off. Like we would rather extract oil from other places rather than give up our reserves, um, or sell our reserves on the market to make the dollar stronger. But I just think it's more of like these are war games that's going on. A lot of this stuff is war games. It's been an economic war that's been going on since I probably say since the end of Biden's campaign and the beginning of Donald Trump's presidential election with China, and I fear that we are probably losing that war, man. They got manufacturing under control. They have plans to become the largest consumers in the world, and they've been stocking up on gold in their central banks over the past few years or so. And if the world moves to back on the gold standard and removes the American dollar as the you know as the dollar for the U.S. I mean, not for the international economy, the IMF, if they pull the dollar as the reserve currency, then bro, we're gonna have to kind of like really evaluate like what is our economy built off of, and it's pretty much built off debt. And once you can't leverage your debt, you got to pay your debtors. Then what's the course for your country? And once people begin to lose confidence in America, like I already think they doing. I already think they losing confidence in America.
Yeah.
Simply because we don't want to play fair right now in international policies.
Mm-hmm. So it's almost like shooting ourselves in the foot, almost.
Yeah, we're going about it the wrong way, I would say, man. I think diplomacy is needed more so than ever. But it's like I I don't think that either candidate, let me just say this. I don't think either candidate could probably navigate what is to come in a way where it benefit the people. Now, whether it benefit their people that put them in place, like I think that's what it's really for. You know what I mean? Like as far as the people, like the general population, I think they kind of like have an idea of what they want to do with us, and we kind of just either we go along with it or we kind of get cut out, so to speak.
Scary.
Yeah, I think that's what it's leading to, man. I think it's that like it's leading to more permanent like class status. Like you're not gonna be able to climb the social ladder as easily as you once were able to.
Yeah. So previous generations were buying houses in their 20s.
Right.
Now we got to wait till our
40s,
40s.
40s and 50s.
Yeah.
And then from that point on, we gotta have a 50-year mortgage. And then you say, okay, what's the alternative? Never buying a home? Well, you probably never begin to build assets. And once the dollar goes away, at least those that got assets would be like, at least you got to pay me something. Whatever they change the money into, I'll be getting some of that because I got assets. But if you ain't got no assets, because you can't get no capital to buy no assets, because you ain't really because it's not that we can't do it. We don't live the same type of lifestyles the generations before us live, bro. Like we're not chasing a bag. Like they weren't chasing a bag. They weren't chasing clout. Like they weren't trying to live like a lux lifestyle. Like they was cool with whatever the fuck they got because they knew that they could make do with what they had. I think that's where
Served
we
them out
fall
more.
short.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was more of a concerted effort to save previous.
Because you didn't have like there was no free money. There was no such thing. Like people didn't buy things on credit. Like they didn't do that. Like that's our lifestyle now because our government has created that lifestyle. Shit fall down here, bro.
Yeah.
So should we be prepared for a recession? I think so. I think we should be prepared for economic collapse. What does that look like for healthcare? What does that look like for education? What does that look like for personal finance, macroeconomics? Like a world where the dollar isn't the reserve currency of the world is something that we should probably start considering as Americans.
Yeah, especially considering our stance on Middle East.
Yeah.
Which is going to lead into the next topic once we get to that.
Feel me? Like real talk. Devaluation of the petrodollar. Shit, man. That, that's some take. That's a real. Feel me? This is something. As black men, I'm glad you guys brought this up, man, because um we are the number one consumers. You feel me? Number one consumers, dog. So I hope somebody's meditating on it. I hope what you just spoke on, it somebody they're able to just sit with what that means to their life now and what it'll mean in the next 3 to 5 years and how they can better prepare themselves when those hard times come. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Y'all go ahead.
It's, it's scary though. And there's so many just different like things you could look at to just show how challenging it could get.
Yeah, man, it's more like in a world where people are encouraging disorganization, individualism. I think it's more and more a concerted effort for us to kind of like build communities, um, like love on the people that's around us, and try to spread love as much as we possibly can, dog. Because we all we got at the end of the day. Like we probably ain't got a lot of money, we probably ain't got a whole lot of influence, but if you learn how to grow food and you learn how to build a house and you learn how to wire a house and you learn how to plumb a house and this person learn how to, plow a field, this person learn how to remove lumber, this person know how to remove trash. Like now we got a community where we can rely on each other and we don't have to ask one another or have to spend outside of our own economy.
Yeah.
So
Hopefully it'll be modern, and not like, like a barter type thing, you know,
I
where you
don't
just,
a barter system would necessarily work. I'm just more so
yeah,
saying like if you work as an electrician, so you bring your income from that, but then you go to the community and you go do some work on somebody's house, like they're paying you. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And then they may do something that you need a service from them, and so you're paying them. So
You're
that
keeping
money,
your money inside the
the
community.
money stays
And
inside
so
the
you're stimulating your own community. I see what
absolute.
Phil's saying.
yeah,
It's how you build your community. And what he's saying is it doesn't take a lot of people, but it does take people keeping the money inside of their community and not letting the money go to other people's community. You feel
Absolutely.
me? Because when you do that, you're helping them build up their community. And that's a problem, our community. You feel me?
yeah,
Absolutely.
You were dropping science though. I peeped today's mathematics. Feel me?
yeah. Good, Kang.
Yeah, I just want to say very insightful segment from my boy Phil right there.
Definitely. All right, so we're gonna move into, little Black History Month segment. So I'm gonna try to do something every week in honor of Black History Month. So this week we're gonna talk about the current condition of the American Black family and what we think the impact of higher education is on the Black family in today's climate, and just the current state of the American Black family. And so I just say, man, I've just been reading a lot of history and just getting in touch with how things were in like 1900 versus like how things were in 1960 versus how things are trending today. And it would seem like in terms of just expression and things that there's really never been a better time for the American Black family. Like people could be creative and kind of, what I'm saying, get paid for being creative in a way that I don't think we've ever seen before. But in terms of the American Black family, a lot of things that I've seen and read have said that in terms of the nuclear family, that things were a lot better like around like 1900, where things were more just around like community values, where people were going to church, you know, um, not necessarily higher education, but this was the time when a lot of these HBCUs were popping up, and you were starting to see, the Tuskegees and the Fisk and schools like that emerge, and that had a huge impact then. But just in terms of like where the family was, then it seemed like it was stronger because the community was a little bit more tight knit in terms of like what Phil is kind of alluding to, and fast forward to the 60s and now it just seems like those community cohesive things have kind of eroded. So that's just my take. I think higher education's kind of been a constant. I feel like a lot of the information that's out there kind of shows that it still is an investment that people make, and what I'm saying, and some people benefit from it and some people don't, just like any other time. But I'd say more of like just where the community is like just more of an impact on the Black family today. So that's my take on it. What do you think, Phil? I think you might have, what I'm saying, had a certain leaning, I kind of
I
want to
think
hear it.
I think the disparity in the wealth that I think specifically for Black America, I think that because we have left the progress we were making and closing the gap as far as like the wealth gap between us and our white counterparts in this country was slowly but surely closing, and it has pretty much slowed, if not widened, since the civil rights movement. And I think that's specifically linked to the Black family. And I think due to the the absence of the father within majority of the homes, and a lack of men just within communities in general, um, we have lost our sense of community, and we lost that connection to one another that will establish an economic environment where we want to spend and trust in one another. And I think that the illusion of having like post-secondary degrees means that you're more educated or that you're more well off or that you're more like financially able to navigate the different avenues or things in America now, but that's not necessarily true. Like a lot of black women are graduates of college, and a lot of times they are also the holders of the most student loan debt. You know what I mean? Like it's not like they going to school and they are getting, STEM degrees. A lot of times it's behavioral science degrees, social degrees, degrees where unfortunately, you are aligned with the government, and the government can always just take your job from you, like we've seen over the past year or so. You know what I'm saying? So like that illusion and that grandiose like behavior or attitude that comes with it. You know what I'm saying? Like we understand that you sacrifice so much, but like for what? Though? To what cost? And like that plays and that takes a toll on the black family as well, especially when you don't have black men who are in these different schools or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like black men are, I wouldn't even say disenfranchised, just not encouraged to like go into different fields and try to dominate as a group. You know what I'm saying? It's more so like, okay, he over there, then I need to be over here. It ain't like, nah, we all need to go flood this one particular sector and then branch out from there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, it's not a cohesion amongst the black individuals in this country, and it's because we've adopted individualism and we become the biggest capitalist that America has.
Says you can.
I think education is important, but I think um how can I say this? I saw a quote one time that said the dumb people won't be the people that can't read or write. It will be the people that can't unlearn and learn again. Right? I'm not saying you don't need to read or learn to read or write. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is once people are more well equipped and better educated, they can do better. First of all, let's start there. You can only do better if you know better. So people start living better, and that becomes a way of life. It becomes a part of culture. They raise everybody, and it becomes like an ecosystem of people being functioning, able-bodied adults that's able to think for themselves and think critically if needed, if called for. Um, we don't need anybody dumb or stupid or ignorant. We need everybody. We need a baseline of adequacy, and it needs to be higher than what it is. Because when people can't think for themselves and they're not smart enough to think for themselves, they act out of emotion. They tend to act selfishly, live or operate in chaos based off them always being in survival mode. But I feel like I said, you know better, you do better. It's some people that know how to read and write, but don't know how to learn or have issues learning. So I'm not saying, I guess what I'm saying is we need to be educated, but we need to be educated in more than just academics. We need to be educated in like ourselves and how we operate, what this means. Some people just don't have an interest for it. Some people have learning disabilities and don't know it. You know, some people live unorthodox. Everything is the school system is like an assembly line basically, and it's kind of not one size fits all, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. So
So I feel like having fathers in the house, having people already brought up in instruction around instruction and structure, I feel like that would help a lot.
and that'll get to that baseline of adequacy. It,
I think so.
yeah.
I'm not an expert though. I could be wrong, and I'm open to being wrong. But us talking about the things that matter, like my boy Phil said, is how we everything's starts from a thought. So us talking about it, us actually thinking about it, comparing and contrasting, giving opinions, opposing opinions, you know, trial and error, just take a little effort. Not
no,
saying it'll be perfect, but
no doubt. What's your take, Cloud?
I agree with the sentiments of the gentleman. Not to be long winded, man. I'll just repeating a lot of the same things they stated. Do believe that current state of the black family, the decline of the black family, is that we all agree that's what it is. Right? It's to really do with the mental side. Just black person, average black person in America. All the different forms the U.S. government through the past decades had thrown at black man mainly, but also the black woman, man, and a lot of what Ian and Bill stated um, supports that, man. You know, there's definitely a widened gap that it used to be, but because you have individuals such as yourselves who are aware, there's content such as this that's out there, and you know, uh, on people's minds. That's a step forward. You know, it's just the actions that have to be taken after that by the generations after that. The repetitive processes of that. No, it's a start though, man. First is just being aware of what's taking place, bro, and not continuing to widen the gap and learning from the mistakes. Well,
Yeah, that feel like the learning, like black people have to learn so much about society, like once you get to a certain point, you figure out there's like so much more you gotta, you know, navigate just to make it out in a positive.
We should start trying to create our own system.
yeah, true. Because you know what you just said, bro? it's a lot of it is also because um that people have a lot of black communities or the way it's structured, they have to learn so much about society, but society has to learn a lot about black culture too, though.
Mm-hmm.
No, or to coexist, and the willingness of it. That's why what Phil just stated, I kind of stepped on his line, man. But yeah, bro, that seems to be option, but it always goes back to what Kanan, what a lot of us stated in different topics earlier, bro, that it's hard for black people to work together. That seems to be
Yeah.
an international problem.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the culture needs better influence because I feel like we've been influenced a few different ways. I feel like maybe Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, what I'm saying, maybe influence people to want to play basketball. People like Randy Moss, Deion Sanders, whoever you can name, made people want to play football. You know, Sammy Sosa, King Griffey Jr., Mark McGuire, not Mark McGuire.
Derek Strawberry.
Sammy Sosa, bro.
Strawberry. Daryl Strawberry, um, guys like that made people want to play baseball. Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, George Foreman may have made people want to get into boxing. Your local ballers, you know what I'm saying, might have made people want to get into narcotics, you know what I'm
It had to
saying?
be local.
Um, you know, for some point in time, the pimp was, made people want to be pimps. I don't know where they came from exactly. But you get what I'm saying, and then people like Jay-Z made people want to be rappers. I'm not saying any of this is besides obviously, what I'm saying, serving or distributing narcotics in your community. Besides that, I'm not saying this stuff is bad. All I'm saying is people gravitated to these people and they had influence. I don't know why I say influence without like Allen Iverson in basketball. And I just feel like if we had people like how they say you need representation and they say they want like a black Disney princess and all that, like that's so what is that gonna do for us? What is that gonna do for it? Like no, we need to see we need some famous like tradesmen. You get what I'm saying? Like we need to make you get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
some people like that just do trades or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? We need to see them going viral. You get what I'm saying? That type of stuff that make me like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna, you feel me, be a plumber. I'm just gonna be an electrician. You get what I'm saying? Make the young people, you know, we
Yeah.
need to that's what I mean by we need better influence. But the reason I didn't say that is because ultimately the best influence just starts in house. Your mom and your dad. You know what I'm saying? To give you that structure and to kind of nurture who you are and your abilities and your strengths and to guide you in a path that will lead you to success. So, but we got like celebrity barbers, we got all this other stuff. We need to see, what I'm saying, black pilots. We need to see, you know, black people in the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get what I'm saying. I ain't trying to be long winded. I'm just waiting on really somebody to be like, yeah, let's see what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I would say it definitely starts at the home. Um, but it also starts with us understanding that we don't own the influencers who influence a lot of black culture. Those people are owned by people that do not look like us, but because they are portrayed to be the brightest and best stars amongst our people, and they are promoted as such, we kind of gotta like fall into that. You know what I mean? Like there's an image being portrayed by us that's not owned by us, and a lot of us have invested in that image. So you kind of gotta like break down that perception and break down that worldview that hey, I'm because I'm black, I'm not a drug dealer, or I'm not a murderer, or I'm not a hoe, or I'm not a pimp, I'm not a drug dealer. You know, I'm a contributor to the human race. I'm a contributor to society, and whichever way I choose to be, you know. Um, but there's more success than just the super mega ultra success that only a small number of people can get. I think we should just kind of like rewire our goals as a group of people and like redefine what success is for Black Americans.
Yeah. And I'll say like I tend to like idealize a lot of my experiences because I got to live in Atlanta for a year, got to live in North Carolina for 10 years, and so just seeing like black people doing different things and being able to create lifestyles for themselves where they're living well but not necessarily like wealthy, but still the same kind of problems you deal with anywhere, but you know what I'm saying? It's just I feel like moving in that direction even is like a upgrade. Just being able to see that more widespread and
For
just
sure.
and everywhere, you know.
I I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
All right. So we good.
Yeah, I think we can move on.
All right. So we got a couple local topics. So one involving Alabama Power and just questions about their pricing and what they do with the pricing. So there was this post from Facebook that kind of just details just what people are seeing with regard to Alabama Power. So this one post talks about just talking about Alabama Power, just doubling and tripling power bills for Alabama residents. You have situations where people are having to cut the amount of money they're putting towards food and having to invest a little bit more in energy. And this is something I've noticed, like, whenever I've like rented in the past, that in the summers and winters, like the bills tend to like really go up. And
Yeah.
so, you know, there's definitely questions as to whether or not Alabama Power like price gouges. And then second topic with this local is this question about marijuana. So they've recently proposed this bill where if you're a parent and you're around like a child, it could be like you're in a car, just like in some sort of closed area, and you're like smoking weed or you smell like weed, they could cite you and punish you with up to 1 year in prison or 1 year in jail. and a $6,000 fine. So they have this bill being debated in the House of Representatives in Alabama, and so that could be like a serious sort of law enforcement like escalation there with how they like police marijuana. So two-part topic here. We got price gouging and just enhanced oversight of marijuana. So uh, who wants to start us off on this one?
All right, I'll take it. I'll start with the with smoking around the babies. Um, I think that's a bad thing to do. Um, I would not participate in those activities, nor would I want anyone to do that around their children. But with that being said, who would be perceived to be the most chronic marijuana users?
Definitely parents. I would probably say perhaps
Like
a
what
new
like what
mother.
like just socially, you know what I'm saying? Like
Oh, black people.
I would assume you
Yeah.
would assume that the cops would assume that black families would be more prone to smell like marijuana. Now, first I can get up to a year in jail or a $6,000 fine. Now, which one you think is gonna happen first? If somebody who's buying weed at no more than I don't know what the street prices of weed is right now, but let's just say it's a dime bag, $20. All right.
Time out. How's a dime bag? $20.
I don't know, dude. Like I'm just saying, bro.
Dispensaries.
All right, my bad. Go ahead.
These are just street estimates. I'm not sure. I would know. But yeah, these people not buying like they're not buying high end drugs. You know what I mean? Like they're not spending a lot of money on this. So it could be used to target a certain demographic of people. That's the first thing. Um, the second thing is that, like I said, it comes down to probable cause and who's gonna be able to prove what somebody smells like in a courtroom. Like it comes down to like whose authority is stronger in a particular case. And if you take that to court, of course they're gonna side with the prosecutor or those whom maybe you may be defending yourself against because you don't have no authority. How many witnesses are gonna go and fight in your favor? So I think that could be used to discriminate against a particular group of people in Alabama. And I think it could be just another way to fill Alabama prisons. Um, the first or the Alabama Power thing. So Alabama Public Service Commission works to kind of like make sure that the Alabama public is getting their fair due or they're getting fair rates on the energy that they're consuming. Now, granted, Alabama is one of the largest states in as far as consumption of energy, right? And we're like behind states like Louisiana, right? But Louisiana pay lower rates in their utilities than Alabama. Alabama pays like 2 or 3 cents higher on the kilowatt than the national average. With some places are low as like 8 cents. I think Alabama is up to like as high as like 13, 14 cents a kilowatt, something like that. But it's it happens because Alabama Power and the Alabama Public Service Commission operate behind closed doors to set these prices. Now, of course, if you are a company who wants to make a profit and wants to keep their shareholders happy because they buy more, they invest more into the business, y'all get more money to spend to create more profit, everybody happy. And I got a government in my back pocket that I don't have to consult with the public. I can just, pretty much go in and create my own laws. Like, of course, I'm gonna always make a profit. And I think that's what is going on in Alabama. Um, there isn't enough like public exposure to why people are paying such high rates at Alabama Power. They don't produce like a lot of clean energy. They contribute to a lot of pollution throughout the state as well. Um, and it's not really a Alabama is one of like the more poor countries in the union,
Mm-hmm.
and this is just only exacerbating the problem. This isn't just a black or white thing. This is a Alabama thing. Like, and you got data centers that's going to be coming to
Yeah.
Alabama soon. They're planning on like purchasing a nuclear power plant or building one. Um, all while poorly dis poorly getting rid of their pollution that they create when they do produce this energy. So man, it's just Alabama's behind as far as like producing clean energy, producing energy that actually like is renewable. Um, and it all starts at the Alabama Public Service Commission.
Crazy.
It's a rich tapestry, fellas, and we can't get in.
Damn. What's your take, Kang?
Nasty work, nasty work. You know, man, when I was younger, and maybe black people can relate to this. In my house, you know what I'm saying? This is no offense to anybody, but it'll be certain things that just you couldn't do. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't fall asleep with the TV on, bro. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't you couldn't turn the AC on if it was too hot. You know what I'm saying? You know? You couldn't leave the light on the stove. You know what I'm saying?
Are you saying
Or
it's so you saying it's the user's fault?
no, no, no. Listen where I'm going with this. Why all these lights on in his house? You get what I'm saying? For years, I was made to believe that I contributed
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
to the power bills being high, one way or another. Why you got this TV on and you on your phone? I'm texting. I'm checking. You know what I'm saying? I'm checking my Facebook. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just little stuff that I think it's just like maybe I'm thinking like, bruh, just chill out, like relax, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And the whole time, Alabama Power can just charge you what they want to charge.
Pretty much.
That's crazy.
Too much.
That's really crazy. So at a certain point, no cap, I just looked at it like gas. There's no set gas prices. The gas station can be one price a day, and in an hour it can be another one probably. At least tomorrow it can be different. You get what I'm saying? So what's the point of being like, man, gas too hot?
Yeah.
You need it regardless.
55% of political donations to Alabama Public Service Commissioners above $250 from 2013 to 2023 came from fossil fuel interests.
Hmm.
What-
Hmm. Interesting.
Like
So it
they
wasn't.
so the people who donate to the Public Service Commission's office are the ones who own the fossil fuels. They own, like, they're the people that are regulating the fossil fuel industry. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're paying for the people who are supposed to regulate them.
Yeah.
So they're not gonna fuck up their money.
Nope.
Like, you don't go to your job and say, I'm not gonna do my job, and then expect them to pay you. If somebody pay you to do a job, you're gonna do the fucking job.
Hmm. Damn. Screwed.
And then, like, they don't really discuss like how the data centers, like where their power is gonna come from, how they're gonna deploy this new power. They're saying they need a new gas plant is needed for winter reliability in 2029. But it's like, I mean, this most recent like winter storm, like it didn't even blow through like most of the state. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Crazy.
is when the corruption work in my favor, I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? But this ain't working in my favor, dog.
Mm, mm.
Nah. Says you, Cloud.
While we waiting on him, somebody ever got mad at you for cooking something on the stove and not cooking it in the microwave? Like imagine you trying to cook some noodles on the stove and somebody get mad at you for using up. Nah, that take too much power. That take too
Mm-hmm.
much power, man. Put that in the microwave.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't even know.
Life, man. Life is crazy. For real.
Folks be blaming you for shit that you ain't got nothing to do with.
The more you know.
Not that real.
All right, Cloud, you with us? All right.
We can spin the block on the editorials.
All right. So let's go on to the next. All right. The next actually is editorial. So just wanted to extend some condolences, man. So earlier in the week, Kozo Shioya, who's a Dragon Ball voice actor, passed away. So just wanted to say rest in peace to uh, his family and just thinking of him. No, the creator of Dragon Ball Z recently passed away as well. So it's just, been just a tragic time for, a nostalgic fan of, Dragon Ball and all the episodes that, used to come out on Toonami. So starts with the family, you know. Michael 5000 Watts also recently passed away. He was the founder of Swishahouse. That's this record label in Houston. Paul Wall's a notable artist that was signed to Swishahouse, and just thinking of, you know, everybody down there in Houston. And then Catherine O'Hara passed away. She was an actress and comedian. She was probably most known for well, you could debate this, but for me, she was probably most known for being the mom in Home Alone. And you know, just you saw people like Macaulay Culkin, you know, sending condolences to the family, and just, you know, just dealing with the loss. So just thinking of all those people, and, you know, all the people who are near them. Also, January 26th was Monday. That's KO4 TV's birthday, but also it's 6 year anniversary of Kobe's tragic passing in the helicopter crash. Um, you know, just something that, just looking back on it, nobody, you know, how could you expect something like that? And for somebody that you'd expect to be just the most well protected person in the world, you know, and just the tragedy that came with that. And, you know, the world hasn't really felt the same since that point. And so just wanted to, you know, leave this space in the editorials for just thinking of all these people, you know what I'm saying? Like, Dragon Ball Z was a huge part of my life growing up. So was Kobe Bryant. So was, you know, artists like Paul Wall coming out of Houston, and watching movies like Home Alone. So, you know, I don't oftentimes get to say rest in peace to famous people or people who, you know, come and gone in my life. So just saying rest in peace to all these iconic people.
Um, I don't really like the idea of being a super fan of somebody, like a stan. But I feel like the one person I made an exception for was Kobe Bryant. No, I take that back. Two people, because D'Angelo Russell. But that's when I snapped out of it. And I'm like, yeah, this is dumb. But that's because I just needed a void to fill with Kobe being gone. You know what I'm saying? Um,
And you chose D'Lo?
I mean, he was next up in the Lakers. Man, you like, come on, man. He was next up in the Laker thing. He was supposed to be the guy, and then he did the dumb stuff with Swaggy P, whatever. But I don't know if I would say Kobe is somebody I would look up to, but he is definitely somebody that I had the utmost respect for. You know, if y'all ever saw like those little bracelets when we were younger, they used to say WWJD, what would Jesus do?
Yeah.
I used to think to myself, like in times where I didn't know what to do, or in times where I was like unsure of myself, I asked myself, what would Kobe do? Like
Yeah.
maybe I was kind of second guessing myself, doubting myself. Maybe I was scared to do something. Maybe I didn't know if I should pursue something or not. Maybe I felt like I wasn't giving my all, or I had more potential. I would ask myself, what would Kobe do? And for me to lose him bright and early, on supposed to be a day for me to celebrate. Um, it kind of changed things for me. When I was younger, me and friends used to get together and celebrate my birthday. Shout out to Tab and all her friends and Aki Amir um for celebrating me all those times. But after that, it just wasn't the same. Not in a bad way, but I kind of like, I might do something, but I kind of just remember, what I'm saying, Kobe on that day. And I don't know what else to say. He was great. He had two Hall of Fame careers in one. Um, he's done so much for the sport, for the league, impact, influence, embracing people after him, being a leader, setting example, leaving it all out there, him growing into the man he became or he was by the end of his career, him playing through injury maybe because, in his head, somebody out there may have not been able to afford it, and spent their last to see me, I'm gonna put on a show. He's one of the last noted people to kind of compete in the All-Star game. And maybe because it was when it happened, it was like right before All-Star, and maybe that's the reason why I ain't been the same, in the last. I mean, it ain't been the same longer than 2020. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like everybody miss him. When you say somebody who just feel kind of like they would like live forever, it's not that I felt like he would live forever. I just felt like he he could do anything because he had the mind and the will, um, and the wisdom, or maybe not. I don't know. But to move on, that Catherine lady, she was the mom in Home Alone, but she was in another movie, I think. Um, I can't remember what it was, but her face is so familiar.
Yeah, they say she
So
was
rest,
in Beetlejuice and Schitt's Creek.
Beetlejuice, that's what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um, the father from the Home Alone had already passed, so rest peace to him as well. Dragon Ball just came with some new announcements in the past week or two, saying they're gonna remake the beginning of Super, and animate the Granola Moral arc. Some stuff we've been waiting on for the past maybe 5 to 8 years. As far as it's already been in the manga or the little strip, the comic strip or whatever. It just hasn't been animated for us to for a visual concept as far as us watching it on screen. So I don't know what they're gonna do as far as Majin Buu, but I think they said that Majin Buu would be doing some other stuff. Maybe he was training, getting stronger, or he just wasn't gonna be in the mix that much anyway. Um, which is weird to me because Moro is supposed to be like magic or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. And Majin Buu is kind of like magic. He's from the demon realm. I'm kind of interested in how they're gonna tie Dragon Ball Daima into all this. Um, because I don't really know if this new remake is gonna be just a remake or is it gonna be a remake from the perspective of Beers? Because it says Dragon Ball Beers. So I was wondering if they're gonna retell it, redo the animation and all that, but tell it from the perspective of Beers this time. So I don't know. That could be interesting. Michael 5000 watts. I didn't know I was a fan of his, but I really do like those Houston type freestyles where they're chopped and screwed. You know, guys like Tum Tum, guys like Fat Bastard, you know, from out there with those similar styles and do the chopped and screwed, the chopped and slow type verses. Um I do appreciate all that. I was a big I had a Texas phase at one point with Chameleon being one of my favorite rappers. Mike Jones being hot at one point, Paul Wall jumping on people's verses and having the best verse. Slim Thug getting top in the Fofos in the Steel Tipping video. You know, they had a moment. They had a little wave going on.
Yeah.
Especially when I found out Mike Jones and Paul Wall didn't like, not Paul Wall, Mike Jones and Chameleon that had beef, and Paul Wall and Chameleon used to be together, but then now he was with Mike Jones, so that kind of led me in a loophole of trying to figure out what was going on, you know.
Yeah.
So shout out to everybody out there, Michael Watts, for everything he did in hip hop in Texas. You know, keeping it regional, like his sound and that little Texas style of music going. You know what I'm saying? Propelling it, the impact, all that good stuff. So rest in peace to all these people. Um, I think we should normalize giving people remembrance or memorials when they pass, even if it's just a quick R.I.P. You know, so
For sure. All right. Anything, Phil or Cloud?
As far as the Kobe thing, man, everybody gonna have our way of going out. Unfortunately for him and his family, he went out tragically. Um, Definitely not a way I would want to go out for sure. Um, and I don't mean to say that insensitively. Like it's just never a good thing, especially when you was worn out to do something.
Yeah.
Um, they said Michael Weiss died of declining health. Um, so it could have been an assortment of things that was going wrong with him. And of course, the older lady, I don't know how she passed, but
Yeah.
rest in peace to those individuals and their families. Memorials are important, man. Because the dead shall always be remembered for the good things. Um, but shout out to Jason Tatum for checking out the people that switched up after Kobe died. Because like when Kobe was here, a lot of folks ain't showing love. Um, so I like people like that remember how people were honored when they were here, because that's the most important thing. Nobody got nothing bad to say about the dead ever. So um, yeah, man, that's pretty much it for me, man. Y'all make sure y'all love y'all people in y'all life. Community is gonna be more and more important as we grow in this life that we live in. And just if you got if you got anything you want to tell somebody, tell them. Tell them before they gone.
Also, I just want to say rest in peace to Kobe's daughter as well, and the other 5, 6, 7 people that lost their life that day as well. Um, Kobe, um, impacted so many people, but he wasn't the only people that we lost that day. I mean, he wasn't the only person that we lost that day. So rest in peace to Gigi and the other passengers who are no longer with us as well.
Definitely. Cloud, you good? Or... All right. Well, it's been another week of the Mondeh Report, so we're signing off. Be back next week with a little bit more for y'all. And until then, salutes.